Alright, hope everybody's having a good one. Welcome to Planet Coaster 2 with Cookie Pirate. Tonight we're just going to be checking out some stuff and messing around, and one thing that I actually want to do is spend a little bit of time looking at some of my old coasters and seeing what can be reworked. As I really liked a lot of the initial concepts, and they just need probably a little bit of smoothing or maybe some reprofiling in some cases, as many of these were built before I really had an understanding of all of the different mechanics going into coaster building. So I'm actually going to go ahead and set a park. I'll go ahead and do the Mediterranean. And I'm just going to drop some of my existing creations. And we can kind of look at them and I can get tips on what to do. Maybe some people would like to try to rework them a little bit or something like that, you know. So, let's see, let's actually just go ahead and shut the park down, and, we'll place some stuff. This is not something I'm going to keep. Yeah, it's just more so to showcase the, different coasters. Hey, Spino, how's it going? So, let's see, we'll go into here. My creations, yeah, there we go. What even do I have in this list? Now, is this the original? Now that one is the station. Oh, this! I forgot about this. This I actually built. This was the third coaster that I made in my tropical park after the floorless and the hyper. And this thing is so unrealistic, but I had so much fun building it. You all can look at it and laugh at it. King Taka Fountain Girl, how are you? King Coaster is back, and so am I. Great to see you, my friend. Dale, check out Granite Peaks tonight. I actually was thinking about that before you even mentioned it. Because I actually took a look at it this morning, and I really wanted to show that, because we didn't get to it last night. You just dropped the code for that one coaster. I was just watching a YouTube about Altoona Pizza. What? Altoona Pizza? Tortigan Tales. T3 sucks! Good to have another build you can check out if you want. Definitely not as crazy intense and intense as Nebula, but it's good. Yeah, we can check it out for sure. I'm not going to do it right away. Fury aligned station. I don't know what. So I'm not sure if this is the version that got remade. I think it is. Why do I have two of these saved? Mako 2. Yeah, so this is from the... Oh, this one actually has the station and everything. And the queue lines, okay. That explains that. I gotta go through and clean out a bunch of these blueprints. Aha! Definitely want to show this. It's obscure. Yeah, I figured it was, based on you making the comment about King Coaster and the rose. Because I love King Taka. It's one of the worst things at Six Flags. You know what? I think for the rest of the night, because they, you know, they took down King Taka. They've not run Carowinds very well this year. You know what? They're getting a flag taken away. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you 5 flags. Stupid. Oh, man. Can you just imagine that 5 flags? Oh, yes, the Medusa coaster. I think we looked at this late last night, but I want somebody to actually check this out and help me perhaps remake it. And I need to really go through and clean out some of these saves. Medusa... Is the coaster the same? Yeah, okay, so only this one is missing the scenery. So you know what? I could actually go through and just... This is the one with the scenery. Where's the one without? Right here. I loved Teto Puopopo. Oh, Teahupo'o, the surf coaster, yeah! 5 flags goes hard. I think I've just started a bad new trend. Hey, what happens on Cookie Pirate streams stays on Cookie Pirate streams. Code for my build, it doesn't have a box to align, you just gotta make sure the path is level as it works on flat ground. Okay. Let me get that while I'm thinking of it. I'm not going to look at it right now. But that way I will have it at least saved and ready to go. By the way, I know the way that you type the code. Excuse me, hiccup. The way that you type the code is totally fine. But for those of you that, and I'm sure most of you do, but for those of you that maybe don't know, the codes are case sensitive, so you have to do them in all caps, which I think is kind of dumb, because all of the letters are caps anyways. They never do lowercase and stuff. Tortigan Tales, oh, I like that. I still think when the merger happened, they should have renamed it to Cedar Flags. Yeah. You know what, to be honest, even though I think they made the right decision for publicity in the sense that Six Flags is much better known than Cedar Fair, because all of the Six Flags parks, with maybe one exception, and maybe not any actually, had Six Flags. So for example, Six Flags Great Adventure, Six Flags Magic Mountain, over Georgia, over Texas, stuff like that. But none of the Cedar Fair Point, or Cedar Fair parks, with the exception of Cedar Point. See, this is a tongue twister. Now I'm even getting confused here. With the exception of Cedar Point, I'll say it this way correctly, none of the Cedar Fair parks had either of those two words. Well, maybe Valley Fair. None of them had that name attached to them. Five Flags Great America. Let me get this code. You all are distracting me. I don't care. I'm just making fun of... Not fun of you all, but just teasing you all. Making more fun of myself, honestly. Alright, so it's a Batman the Ride recreation from Six Flags Great America. Alright. I'm looking forward to checking that out. Cedar Fair was the combination of Cedar Point and Valley Fair. I can see that, but I think it would be still a little bit too obscure for most people to recognize. So what's going on, Crazanity, by the way? Welcome back. And a nice ring to it. What's the best park in y'all's opinions? Ooh. Huh. That is that is really tough to say based on... It really depends on the criteria, the way that you define best. If you're going for the amount of coasters or rides, if you're going for the best theming, if you're going for the best operations, the best aesthetics and scenery and stuff like that. 6 fairs, Cedar Flags. Kings Island, amazing operations, and a really great park. Great America, because I'm American. Best park I've been to is Six Flags Magic Mountain for coasters I've done. So Spino, have you been to Cedar Point? And I'm not saying that to be critical at all. I'm legitimately asking. Silver Dollar City is a good candidate. Oh, excuse me. I built this, Woody. I forgot about this, actually. No, I have not yet. Okay, well that explains it. And again, I'm not being critical, as I've not been to either of those two parks. But it seems like most people would gravitate toward either Cedar Point or Magic Mountain. And the people that have been to both, it's kind of a wash. And some people prefer Magic Mountain, some people prefer Cedar Point. And to be totally honest, this may be a little bit of a hot take, but I think I would prefer to go to Magic Mountain before I would go to Cedar Point. Black Dragon. This is actually one of the more recent coasters I've made, so it probably doesn't need too much work. But what I'm doing here is I'm trying to showcase a few of the coasters that I've built, so people can kind of give me some tips on how to improve them a bit. Actually, we will put the Woody down. So this is kind of my own showcase. I love X2 so much. So I'm not a hardcore enthusiast, I mentioned that last night. I consider myself kind of more of an, let's say like an entry-level enthusiast. And I have a feeling X2 would probably be too intense for me. I might love it and be like, okay, I loved it, but it's a one and done, or I might be like, okay, screw that, never again. I kind of would like to check out Viper. And I've heard mixed things about it. Some people say it's fantastic, some people say it's terrible. Most opinions that I've heard are kind of middle ground. But it's the special thing about Viper is that it is the last remaining Aero Mega Looper. After, Great American Scream Machine up at Great Adventure, and I'm trying to remember what the third one was. What was the third Aero Mega Looper? It's not really as intense as it looks. I think it's just rough. The surf coaster, we've looked at this many times. Shockwave, that's right. Six Flags Great America. Treasure Tempest. Oh yeah, I forgot the old dive coaster from the from the Viking Park. we've got to bring this down to, actually gonna have to do a little bit of terraforming for that, because this was purpose-built to go deep underground, so I actually do want to, do a little bit of terrain work with this right now. Great American Scream Machine at Great Adventure. Yeah, that was the second Aero Mega Looper. Or was it the third? No, I think Viper was the last one. Oh, I just absolutely love doing tunneling for coasters. If you can't tell, that was sarcastic. I actually really don't mind it, because if it's done well, it really has such a great effect. I actually recreated Shockwave in PC2 if you would rather see that than Batman. I wouldn't rather see it than Batman, but I think we'll have enough time. We can take a look at that as well. So please do share. I would be up for that. And I actually do like recreations of real-world coasters. Aha! There it is. Manny85, I mentioned him last night. But he has so many great real-world recreations. Not just of the coasters themselves, but he actually does a good job in replicating the surrounding scenery to the best of his ability. It's pretty remarkable. And that is... How did that get placed? Yeah, that got placed that high off the ground. After I lowered it, I thought I had it right, but so be it. I'm not redoing that. Jurassic Point, how are you? Good to see you. From the Elgin area, Northern Illinois. It's way closer to Great America. The first was Shockwave, the second was Scream Machine, the third was Viper. Okay. Yeah, I was pretty sure Shockwave was the first. And then I couldn't remember the order of the last two. Viper was 1990. Scream Machine, I believe, was 89. And then, okay, yeah, so that makes sense, because Shockwave would have been 88. Dropping my Ride of Steel recreation. We'll grab it real quick. So I'm not putting any of y'all's creations in this park. I'm really just placing some of my own coasters that I want you all to look at and evaluate. Shockwave was 88. Okay. Tabbed out by mistake there. Pretty sure Viper's trains are under Fury's lift hill. I saw them last time I was at Curowin's. Were they putting that maybe on, that might be the laydown yard. And they might be trying to put them over on, Carolina Cyclone. Alright, let me grab that there. Let's ride these mofos, go. Yeah! We're getting to it. Is there anything else I want to put down here? Not any of these. We got the Kraken ride. What is this? Oh, that's just a, Okay, a recreation. That's a different save file of the, How is that rated different when the ride layout is pretty much exactly the same? I've really got to go out and clean some of these out here. The trains for Vortex at Kings Island, RIP, are actually used on Carolina Cyclone. Another duplicate, I know, I'm baffled as to how many duplicates I'm finding in here. So, okay. So I'll give you all a little bit of a rundown of each of these coasters. So this Eagle Remastered, this B&M invert. This is... Okay, so this part actually did go underground. I was going to say, this is sitting way higher than it normally would. So what I'm actually going to do is grab it and lower it a little bit. Kind of about to where it was. I'm eyeballing it. This is not going to be 100% accurate. But that's pretty close there. So this is kind of a special coaster for me, and the reason I say that is this was actually the very first coaster from the Viking Park, which was my first full-scale park, as I've said many times. So, to be fair, I mean, this is not the first coaster I ever built in PC2. As probably the third or fourth. But this does have definitely a special place in my PC2 history. And I would love to do something with this, kind of to preserve it. You remastered this one. Did you? Like the color scheme. Yeah, it's kind of got a bat, but I went with the eagle. Because of course the Viking Park with the kind of the taiga biome, the Nordic, and I'm like, you know what, an eagle I think would be very fitting here. So we went with black and yellow to kind of represent that. Although I think if I changed it up a little bit, what I would do is make the trains, well, they're white, kind of brownish color, black and yellow. Different friction, possibly. One smooth, one without trim brakes. I don't know. I would have to double check it. Flying Cobra's new trains, it's gotten rough. You know, Flying Cobra's, I've rode it several times. I don't find that terribly rough. It definitely does have a little bit of a roughness to it, but it's far better than when it was the Carolina Cobra. And I forget exactly when they changed it. But I remember going on it in 2017, and it was... it was brutal. And then I went on it last year, and I'm like, this actually is not that bad. Like, yeah, I mean, it needs probably a little work still, but it wasn't that bad. Alright, don't worry about the course terrain correction there. So I think this is sufficient. So this, Eagle Remastered, this was the very first coaster that I built in the Viking Park. And it got revamped. And then we ended up trading it out for another B&M invert that Jimpers had built based off of a Montu recreation. Here's a Woody inspired by the massive Din Woodies like Mean Streak or Texas Giant of the 90s. I'll go get that here in a bit. I wish Auto Tunnel was a thing when placing coasties. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Caca! Caca! Terrible impression. Hey, Velocitude, how's it going, man? Very photogenic. Oh! Yeah, we do have it. Ah! Why not to place it? I'd actually have to go into, It's not uploaded on Frontier's Workshop, but I'd like to see if there was a way I could click on it. Yeah, actually here I'd be able to, you can see it a little bit. Oh, holy cow, I forgot about these. The launched B&M sit-down looper, but yeah. This is how odd this was from the beginning. Very first coaster in the park, right off the main plaza. Didn't know how to build stations at the time, and the lift hill just went over the main plaza, and I thought that was the coolest thing since sliced bread. And I really didn't know better. But you can see the coaster actually passed over a bunch of little islands, a bunch of water. I know it's blurry, but you can kind of see the original concept that way. Let me get caught up on chat here in just a minute. Oh, so these are the coasters that are uploaded to the workshop. And only that one is. I try to get back into my creations that are not on the workshop and do like a full screen preview of how I saved them. Elevator Warden, how's it going? My day is alright. I actually did a lot around the house and outside. And I fell asleep on my couch for about 30 minutes. And I'm like, you know what? I've got to get up and do some stuff. So, by some stuff, that included a flight sim stream. Then I had a snack, watched a soccer game, played a little bit of piano, and here I am for PC2. So, it was a nice day, though. Hey, Ty-Star, how's it going? I thought it was 1, at least I remember that from Plenco 1. Let me get caught up here. Yeah, for whatever reason, I don't think Auto Tunnel, you can do anything with it when you place a coaster. Unfortunately. I've learned 2 things on my trip. Number 1, my feet are not built for 10.5 and 11.5 miles of walking. Okay, so number 1, they may not be, but you can condition yourself for it. I don't walk nearly that much. I mean, even on the days that I go to Carowinds and I do a ton of walking, the distance probably isn't that much. And depending on how much you stand in line, that kind of gives your... or even like sit on the railings or whatever, that kind of allows you to give your feet a little bit of a rest. So you definitely have to take some breaks. Number 2, I will lose my voice if I scream too much. I'm pretty sure the sky is blue. Spino. We won't forget the Obsidian, El Capitan, and the blue and green half dome. That was so weird. So, those of you that didn't see my flight sim stream earlier, we went from Petaluma, California, which is just north of San Francisco and just south of Santa Rosa. And then we flew over the Sierra Nevadas into Mammoth, Yosemite. And we flew right over the top of El Capitan. Except it didn't render correctly for some odd reason, some sort of a graphical bug or whatever. So it looked like a giant emerald rock. And then and then it turned black, and it looked like some sort of like an obsidian crystal or something like that. It was so freaking weird, and it was so funny, and I couldn't stop grumbling about it. I'm like, well, I don't know whether to be disappointed or just so amused that this is happening, and you know, you make the best of it. So I just made fun of it. You play piano? Me too. Oh, sweet. Yeah, piano is my passion. I've played since I started with like group lessons and the basics when I was 4. I started taking private lessons when I was 7. Played all the way through high school. And then when I went to college, unfortunately, I stopped, but I tried to keep up with it to the extent that I could. So like when I had access to a piano, I'd sit down and play. And I had a digital keyboard for many years and would sit and play it just on occasion, but never really able to progress or even keep up with what I was doing. And then not quite 2 years, yeah, actually about 2 years ago was the time that I started getting back into it. And just under 2 years ago, I went and bought a digital piano and started taking lessons again, and I am a better pianist today in my mid-30s than I ever thought I would be. And I'm not saying that to brag, but I'm saying that to prove a point in the sense that it is never too late to get back into something that you really enjoy, and never let your age determine your ability to do something really well or not. So, I digress a little bit, and I'm getting caught up on chat and just sitting with a blank screen, not really doing anything. Elevator Warden, you should build a launch coaster. I've got one back. Nope, that's not it. It's over here. Yeah, this. This is a monstrosity. I don't build a lot of launched coasters, because I do find them a little bit tricky, but I do have a couple, and I absolutely love them. Copperhead Strike at Carowinds, so Carowinds is my home park. Copperhead Strike is actually my number 2. I would put it above Afterburn, not by much. Excuse me. And I definitely put it over Intimidator, or Thunder Striker. Cookie, you should genuinely start a career as a musician. I definitely appreciate that. It is inspiring, but I'm not going to say it's too late in the sense of to be a professional pianist. It's too late in the sense that I've already invested way too much in my career in aviation, that it is too radical of a switch. And having a career as a musician is actually difficult. A lot of people struggle with it. That said, I could absolutely pick something up like on the side as a musician. Last September, I performed at a masterclass. That was my first public performance in 16 years. And in November, I actually have the opportunity to go before a panel of judges for the first time in 17 years. And I plan on performing a relatively easy piece, kind of an intermediate level, and then a fairly advanced piece. So I'm really looking forward to that opportunity. That's awesome. You and my friend would get along very well. They play piano beautifully. I'd love to get in touch with whoever. I mean, I'm always looking for people to talk about piano and stuff like that. And I've talked about sharing some music on the channel or in Discord or something like that, and I just haven't got around to it. Okay. I absolutely love chatting with you all. Like, it makes it so engaging. And I'm not telling any of you to stop, but I am I'm letting it distract me too much in the sense of, because I'm sitting reading chat and not doing anything in game. So I am going to go ahead and jump on this coaster. This will be the first one we look at, and I'll get caught up on chat. So alright, we'll go ahead and do the front row POV here. Cookie is a world-renowned gangster rap artist. Ah, no. Did a little freestyle a few times in some of my PC2 streams. think a lot of coaster enthusiasts like plane, and also the other way around, because I've seen it so many times. I thought I would be alone. No, you're definitely not alone, but they are, they're mutually inclusive. Kind of get the sensation of soaring through the air. Oh. Oh, that's a horrible transition. Holy cow, I forgot about that. Yeah, kind of that as well. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Eagle Remastered. I think the original was just called Eagle, and I changed a couple of the elements back over here. And the very original is lost, except for when I first built the coaster. It's on one of my really old PC2 videos. And I'd like to think that this was not a bad... This was actually the first invert that I built. And I'd like to think that it's not that bad. Definitely a little bit janky in some of the transitions, and this bottoms out a bit too much. So definitely that first drop has to be reprofiled. And the concept here was to build the vertical loop. This is actually, I think, It is a clothoid loop, which is a little bit more of a round vertical loop, so less of that teardrop shape, and a little bit more circular. I would switch that out. And what I did was just a gradual drop underground to come up into the Immelman, or the Sidewinder. Zero-G roll, Batwing inspired by Montu. Did a good job with the loop. Oh, it's not custom. Don't give me that credit. And then, kind of a swooping turn up into the mid-course. And I'm just not a big fan of the second half of the ride. I think the first half is pretty solid if I could just fix some of the profiling. But the second half, I think it really can't make up its mind what it's supposed to be here. You've got the corkscrew, a helix, a cutback, a little pop of airtime, kind of a turn, and then another helix at 270. Actually, it was like a 320 or whatever, up into the final brakes. So, I think what I would do, given the chance to remake it, what I would do is reprofile that drop. There's actually not a pre-drop, so kind of in the style of Banshee. But I would bring this a little bit steeper down, kind of reprofile the level out of the drop. Put a true vertical loop instead of the clothoid. Have it drop under... I would still do the Immelman. Roll it out. Maybe have some sort of a turn up into the 0G. I would still do the Batwing. Turn up into the mid-course, but maybe I would kind of bring the coaster in kind of this way. At the time, I left this area open because the lift hill went directly over the main plaza, And I took a little bit of inspiration from Alpengeist at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, which actually was the first invert that I ever rode. And I just remember, it was so interesting, because I rode it with my mom. My sister was too little, and my dad doesn't care for roller coasters. So the two of them were sitting kind of in that little plaza. Meanwhile, my mom and I are on the coaster, and I can see my dad and sister. My mom points them out, and I look down, and she waves at him. She says, wave at him. And I'm like, I'm holding on the restraint handle so tightly because I'm afraid. That is the first coaster, the first invert I ever rode, and also the first coaster that I ever rode with more than one inversion. So I was a bit terrified. I think I was 13. Let me get caught back up here. Jempers and I play the Get Fiddle. Terrible guitar impersonation. Don't thumbs down and ups up, people. Cookie was probably the kind of kid in class that would quietly sit in the corner and be ominously reading his book. That is actually not accurate. Believe it or not, I did not like to read a whole lot. Unless it was something that I was very specifically interested in. So I often actually got criticized, and in like reading and English classes I did not do as well as you might expect, whereas I did like super well with science and like social studies, like history, geography, etc., stuff like that. You should add a roller coaster with 11 inversions. I don't know how many the coaster that I've made with the most inversions, how many it has exactly. But yeah, that would be cool. This coaster eats losers for breakfast. All I did in my free time was write a book, which I'm going to make a sequel of this year. Oh, cool. Books are good, okay. It looks like a treble clef. I'm not sure what you were referring to that looks like a treble clef. As I look around, I'm not really sure that I can pinpoint anything. That does. Maybe I should make mine an audiobook. I like books, but those dark romances traumatized me a little. Yeah, I never really got into any of that stuff. Rode Banshee yesterday. It was definitely a little bumpier than most inverts, if I'm being honest, but I still enjoyed my ride on it. Yeah, I've heard good things about Banshee, although one major criticism is that it is pretty shaky. Narrated by Cookie with Cookie piano tracks in the background. First invert was Six Flags Great America Batman. First coaster I ever rode with more than one inversion was also an invert, actually ended up being Montu. Oh! And Montu is about the most intense one. I would actually say that Afterburn is more intense than Montu. That might be a little bit of a hot take, because Montu is larger, but I feel like Montu has... I'm not going to call them dead moments by any means, but I feel like there are a couple moments on that, with the exception of the mid-course, because that is a purposeful dead moment. But I feel like Montu has a couple moments where you can kind of catch your breath a little bit, whereas Afterburn, it's once you're moving, it doesn't let up until you're on the final brakes. In ELA, I only wanted to read Warriors, but my ELA teacher stopped allowing me to, and that basically ruined the series for me, even though I love it. Oh, no. The ending from the top. No, not a treble clef. I can see how you might have thought so, but no, not quite. Okay. So, if anybody does want to take this and kind of revamp it some, I'd be willing to provide the code. And at this rate, I don't even know if we're going to get through all of this. I'm moving so slow through it, and I've got other stuff that I want to check out for sure, because you all have some really neat creations to look at tonight. Afterburn has one dead moment in my opinion. It's that hill before the corkscrew. Yeah, you know what, that's true. That's true. That it doesn't really provide airtime. It does slow down a little bit, but just a tiny bit to be able to catch your breath. So that's fair. But I'll tell you what, that freaking corkscrew, you can't see it coming. At least with Montu, you kinda can. But nah. Afterburn, it's like you make a turn and then it's like, oh crap! Because you can't even really, I mean, unless you ride it enough, you don't really know when it's coming, and you don't know when to brace for it, and that corkscrew is very whippy, so it catches a lot of people by surprise. One of my favorite things about Afterburn is that when you get onto the final brakes and you're right over the plaza and you can just like wave at everybody below you or shout at them. It's so much fun. That's like Fury with the final brakes coming right up over the entrance plaza and stuff like that. And when I was at Carowinds in March, there was this guy that I was riding a whole bunch of times with him, and he was actually like, oh yeah, let's get back on the ride, there's plenty of empty seats and stuff like that. So he's like, I'm gonna take a break, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna keep lapping this. And we would make a bunch of jokes and stuff like that, and so he's standing on the plaza and I'm on the final break course, and I shout out, I gotta pull the mic back or it's gonna spike out. I shout out, sir! And he's like, yeah, buddy! And everybody on the coaster and in that entrance plaza is looking at the two of us like, what the world? And nobody got it because it was kind of like an inside joke between the two of us. It was hilarious. Dino Dukes, band player, what's going on? Both of you, welcome. Cookie already revamped it. Did you? I know you said that before, but I was thinking you were kind of cracking a joke. I know Jimpers did a total remake of it, so really didn't end up coming out anything like the one that I have here. And then I think Brawmick did as well, but I don't remember you remaking it. So if you have it, drop me the code for sure. Are you sure it isn't another invert? But then again, I don't know why it would be. Okay, next up, you know what, I'm not gonna get... Search Eagle in the search bar. Yeah, let me double check. How did I forget that? Christian Crow, how's it going? Good to see ya. Finally played PC2 on Xbox. Cloud gaming free adds 2 to 3 minutes for an hour free. Alright. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm not going to ride this right now, although we may check it out later. But yeah, how did I forget about that? I'm sorry. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't remember this. But I definitely see... Actually, this is an interesting recreation, because the drop, it goes 270 degrees around. You've got the loop, you've got the Immelman, the 0G roll, the bat wing, but then you've got the helix before the brake run. Drop it down into a couple of swooping turns. You've got the corkscrew. Yeah. Okay, that is starting to ring a bell again. I'm sorry, man. I completely forgot that you did that. Bralmick is a name I haven't heard in a long time. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It was pretty disappointing to see him completely step away. I once was on a launch coaster and said, I say ooh, you say ah, ooh. And then the coaster launched and everyone said ah like I told them to. That's awesome. Flight of Fear, ah! Sold my Xbox Series X. Oh, man. No problem at all. I don't mind. Yeah, well, I appreciate the latitude with that for sure. I really did not remember that. I remember Jimpers, and I was trying to remember because somebody else remade it, and it clicked. It was Bralmick, so I really did not remember your recreation. So, but yeah, I appreciate that. He's going through some stuff. Yeah, well, I know he was really unhappy with the way that the game was going. The lack of communication from Frontier and stuff, and I know even before he, like, completely checked out of the game, he had taken quite a bit of a break from the game, and I don't remember whether it was a PC2 or a Flight Sim stream, and I said, man, nobody's really seen Bralmick around lately. I hope he's okay, and he actually dropped in chat and said, yeah, I've been here, just been lurking, had a bunch of stuff going on. And I'm like, man, it's so good to see you, I hope everything's okay. And he came around for a couple more streams after that, and then he disappeared, and I was quite sad to see it. He's a good guy. Alright, so this is Black Dragon. This was a floorless coaster that I built for the Viking Park. This is supposed to be underground. And yeah, there we are. Okay. Yeah, we gotta change that music too. It's a little weird. I'd rather like some rock. Da 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 ba da ba 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 da da ba. That's the Mastera Sepu. I don't even know what the words mean and stuff, but that is probably yeah, I would say that's probably my favorite in-game song. And don't judge, I actually saved that track on Apple Music and have listened to it in the car while driving. Dead honest, don't judge. I like it that much. Let me get caught up here. A Flight of Fear. No, Flight of Pile of Shit. That's a hot take. That's a hot take. Plot twist, Bralmick is actually here, he's just lurking. Yeah, you'd probably say that as a half joke, although I would really hope that to be true, but I highly doubt it. But I really do hope he's okay. Alright, I'm gonna be so honest. People love Flight of Fear or hate it. I personally love it. It's about 50-50 with my friends. This track, well, never mind. 100% would ride. I love Metallica. Is this your first Cookie stream? Band player, I think this is her second. She was here last night. I don't know about before. Immigrant Song, it's a Viking coaster. Hey. Alright, don't judge. Don't clip that. Put that into a short by any means. Does he come from the land of the ice and snow? Yep. Good old Led Zeppelin. So, when I was in late middle, early high school, I absolutely loved Led Zeppelin. And I mean, I still do to an extent, but my dad got me listening to a radio station. This was back when you had to listen to radio stations or CDs. And the local rock channel actually did every night at 7 p.m. They would do 15 or 20 minutes of Led Zeppelin without advertisements. And so I got to learn a bunch of the Led Zeppelin songs and stuff like that. And then that year for Christmas, my dad actually bought me their 2-CD Greatest Hits album. So it had a lot of the classics like Stairway to Heaven, The Immigrant Song, Ramble On, what else? The Black Dog. The Misty Mountain Hop. Good Times, Bad Times, man. Going on my TikTok right now. Wish YouTube didn't remove the clip feature. Would have clipped that instantly. Do it, sure, do it. I want that radio channel. CDs, you say? You mean CDs nuts? Oh, no! Ladies and gentlemen, we need to tell Crazanity something. On the count of 3, it's a 3-letter word. 1, 2, 3. Black Dog is the shiz, yeah. No, that was a good song. It's so interesting just watching the trains fly around the track. It actually is. But I do want to talk about this, and we've been going almost an hour, and we've looked at 2 of these coasters. Ladies and gentlemen, stop distracting me. I'm kidding. I'm having such a great time with you all. Out! Band player got it right. Oh, I humbly declined to get out. So, I had a coworker, and he was big on those. I gotta be careful because there are probably people that are under 8. Actually, I know for a fact there are a few people that are under 18, and I don't want to do or say anything that is like completely age inappropriate, but I mean, probably most of you all know the D's nuts jokes and memes and stuff like that. But anyway, my coworker was big into that stuff and always trying to prank people with it. He moved and got a job up in Maine, and driving in Maine, he found a license plate that said CDs. SEEDEEZ. It was a custom Maine license plate. And he took a picture of it and captioned it. And sent it to me, and I said, you know what, I can't even be mad at that. That's so funny that you were able to pull that off. So I still have it. 2 years later, I still have it saved on my phone, because I just appreciated the level of effort that took. Not necessarily on his behalf, because taking a picture and captioning it is easy, but the fact that he found a license plate that said that, and was able to see it and take a picture of it and send it to me, I'll never forget it. Yeah, earmuffs, kids. My brother always did it with Wendy's. Oh, gosh. Yeah. Hey, Jurassic Point, got your pork uploaded if you want to check it out. Yeah, we can check it out. It's gonna be a little bit of time. My 6-year-olds know what the D's nuts joke is. What? No. Alright, you all aren't gonna get my video age restricted today. Come on. Okay, back to the topic on screen. Would anybody like to take a guess at what the inspiration for this coaster may have been? And I'll give you a hint. Even though it is a floorless, what I took inspiration from is not a floorless coaster. Yeah. First two answers both win gold medals. Spino and Crazanity both picked it. Kumba. And I went ahead and did a floorless just because I think I like the concept of the floorless coaster a little bit better than the sit down. And at the time that I put this in, so this went into the Viking Park as well. And it was later on, but I actually had a B&M sit-down coaster already in the park. Yeah, we all know it's Kumba. Yeah. R.I.P. Kumba in 8 days. Can't believe it. I was actually trying to get down to Busch Gardens to get one last ride on it. Because it was the one coaster that I could not get on last year when I went. And logistically, it wasn't going to work out. One of my friends works for Carolina Medical Center, and ironically, the first 3 letters of her old tag was CMC. Oh, wow. Kublai Khan. Click the camera, tell the story. Yeah, we could do that. Keep rolling on them. So, a couple things that were a little bit different. It's kind of a mirror image, not 100%, because out of the station, Kumba does turn to the right to go up the lift hill, but then the drop goes to the left, and the lift hill this way, the drop this way, and the loop wraps around it that direction. So this is reversed a little bit. You've got the dive loop, and I believe this was... No, it wasn't. That was actually much smoother than I expected. But, I think I did try a custom vertical loop, and it just did not come out well. But then you've got the dive loop, the 0G roll, And rather than a turn and that little hop into the Cobra roll, I decided to go with a Sea Serpent and a 180-degree upward turn into the mid-course. And I took inspiration for that from Kraken at SeaWorld. Because even though Kraken has the Cobra roll, it has that 180-degree turn into the mid-course. And then all of this is very much Kumba right here. Interlocking corkscrews, the turnaround, the drop underground, which didn't showcase here, but of course then the helix into the final breaks. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna save this for another day. We're not looking at all of these today. Shout out to my internet for not failing once this stream. Awesome! Airy Force 2, sadly, yeah. August 2nd is a terrible day in the coaster world. I'll have to say that. However, I do think there's a good chance Airy Force 1 will get relocated, but I'm pretty sure Kumba is done. So. And I'm sad about it. I'm fortunate to say that I did ride Kumba back in 2012 when I first went to Busch Gardens Tampa. And I even got a pin that I would imagine is actually pretty rare now. But I really wanted to get on it last year. So, hot take, but Kumba was #1 in the park for me back in 2012. I would like to think, and this is pure speculation, but I would like to think that if I had been able to ride Kumba last year, I would have ranked it #3 or 4. And the question would be whether I would put it above Cheetah Hunt or not. At the time, Iron Gwazi did not exist, so obviously you can't count that. And then I put it above Montu initially. I loved Montu, but based on the rides that I got on Montu last year, that would have been my #1 if Iron Gwazi didn't exist. Alright, let's see here. I also have Winterfest and Hollow Weekend versions of my park too. Holy cow. Got a whole bunch. Xfinity, AT&T, or T-Fiber. I don't know, I'm camping. Off cell service. Oh. You don't know who your cellular provider is. Well, those are internet providers at home. Ooh, August 2nd, 2026 in the coaster world is as impactful as May 25th, 2025 in the Geometry Dash community. Oh man. Wow. Rare aesthetic, never been on Airy Force 1. Not that rare. I have not either, but I have 8 days and I live not quite 3 hours from Atlanta. So there's a pretty good chance I could get out there and get on it before it closes. Kumba, I have been on it, but I really wanted to get a re-ride and I'm just logistically not going to be able to make it work. If you want the Shockwave Recreation 2, I'll give that code, or if you just want to look at my Batman, that's fine. Y'all, I don't think he's going to get to all of the coasters he has in this park alone. Maybe slow down on the codes. Do slow down a little bit. But I do want to try to get to the stuff. So, we've only made it to 2 of these. I've just been so distracted chatting with you all, but this is really enjoyable. My kids play Geometry Dash. Is that bad because it changed? I'm not sure. To sum it up, 2 top 1 hardest levels got beaten on the same day, significant progress was made on a third, and the entire community went nuts. But why is that bad though? Because it sounds like if they were able to beat it, that they could just make the game harder and give people even something more to strive toward. But I'm not familiar with it. I've heard of it, I've never played it, so I've never really looked into it, so I'm not totally sure. Better than steal a brain rot. Yeah, that's true. Alright, folks. Hang tight for a minute. Feel free to chat amongst yourselves. I'll be back in a few minutes. I've got to step up and take a quick break, and we'll be back. We'll check out... I want to look at one more coaster in this park tonight, and maybe I'll let you all vote. But then I want to check out all y'all's creations too. So, just hold on a minute. Okay, I'm back. Had to take a quick break. Actually shorter than I thought it would be. Got my water refilled. Let's see, impactful, not whether the impact was good or bad, but I'm actually curious, was it good or bad or both? But we don't need to have a big philosophical debate about it. I'm just curious because I really don't know. Anything is better than that game, so I guess it was bad. That was the single comparison I could make that made sense. They're obsessed with the craziest on Roblox. Yeah, Roblox, that's a mess. Speedrunning CIE's queue. Gotta finish it. Take your time. Don't rush it so I can preview it. And band player, I've looked at your park so many times, and I've shared my opinion about it that I would really like to see substantial changes rather than every update that you make. And I'm not being critical of you, but if I'm gonna take the time to preview it, I really do want to see some substantial stuff, so I can spend that time on it, showcasing, take a look at what you've done rather than trying to hunt for the updates. I'm excited to watch your reaction to my park. I'm happy with the extremely Kings Island inspired layout. Roblox had a lot of creepy stuff going on. It just seems odd to me. Roblox hasn't done crap for their platform. I would keep your kids away from it. I've heard. It's a mess. They added an age verification system, but for people who don't verify their age, they get sent to the same category, meaning anyone can talk to unverified children. Oh gosh. Spent some money on it during COVID when it didn't suck. That was an amazing day in the GD community. One single top, one symbolizes the peak of difficulty, but being reached and two on the same day, it takes some absurd luck. Roblox started going downhill in 2021 when Stitch Face came out. Fair enough, I'll work on some stuff for next stream. I mean, if you feel like the changes are substantial enough to share, do so. But if you don't, yeah, save it. And again, I'm not trying to be critical, but if we're going to take the time, I'd love to spend a half hour or so in the park. Check out all of the stuff that you've done. You're doing such a fantastic job with the park. I need to make that clear. If you all have not seen Ben Player's Four Seasons Park, go check it out. It is one of the most beautiful parks I've seen in this game. He's done an amazing job, although it's really 3 seasons right now, because I don't think you've started the summer section. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what you do with this summer section. The fall was great. The winter was really nice. And then you added the Changes Everything, which is just this massive, all-encompassing coaster, which I can't fathom spending that much time and effort into a coaster. So you get massive kudos for that. But I would have to say what you've done with the Spring Park so far. I've got to say what you did with the Japanese area I think was my personal favorite. And I can see your progress from fall to winter to spring. And so I'm absolutely looking forward to seeing what you do with the summer. I don't think they're substantial enough, and I don't think you're being critical. Keep holding me off. Doing that is helping me a lot with not oversharing. Okay, sure. Working on a park that is nowhere near done. It is a YouTube series, though, and episode 2 will be coming out sometime soon. Awesome! The park is phenomenal. It's right on the track to being featured on Channel 5 Gaming. That's the goal. That's awesome. I should probably mention in the Four Seasons Park has a 36,000 foot long coaster called Changes Everything. Well, yeah, that's the one that I referred to. It'll happen. Only like 14 minutes long. Alright, folks. If there is one coaster here that you all would like to see, I'm not going to open up a poll. Just tell me. We've looked at the invert, and we've looked at this floorless right here. So we've got 5 others. We've got the Woody, the Mock Launch, which actually is not very good. You know what? I think we looked at Kraken last night. I want somebody to revamp this a little bit. Medusa, well, we checked that out last night too, but I really want somebody to rework this for me, because I had so much fun building it, but it's just rough. And then we got the Dive and the Woody. Would like to see an on-ride of the Woody. Woody. Tepido Popo, you didn't quite get the name right, but Teahupo, I didn't even put that in, because... yeah, actually, that's another coaster that Bromik kind of helped me revamp, and he did such a fantastic job with it. And that is the existing surf coaster in the tropical park. We'll do the Woody. I've heard 2 people now say that, so let's go ahead and give this a ride. We'll go front bumper. Start test. You are close. You got the first part and the last part of the name correct. I get inspo for my dreams too. Have you tried learning how to lucid dream? It is actually so worth it, I promise. So, I've heard of people having lucid dreams. I've never had one. And I feel like I've gotten kinda close to it, but I've never fully had a lucid dream. Get caught up on chat here in a minute. That's it. And I don't remember what made me build this. I'm struggling to remember. I just remember that this was completely built by myself. Nobody's done anything with it. And it was surprisingly better than I had expected it to be. It's just a pretty basic double out and back. Woody Allen, yeah. Let me go back up band player. Right now I'm waiting for a hit of inspiration for the summer park. I legitimately get half of my ideas from the park from my dreams. I'm not lying, I dream about the park and new parts of it. That's so cool. I can't even dream about roller coasters to make. If I dream about coasters, it's ones that I've been on that I know well. Reminds me a bit of Phoenix at Knoebels, if I'm being honest. Okay. I've lucid dreamed before. I'm able to trigger it by laying down flat on my back. I had a dream, a new coaster type, Flying Dutchman seating orientation but with a lap bar. You face backward. 3 across seating. F1 themed trains. 3 cars, 2 rows, a hydraulic launch Intamin old gen blitz track. What? That is so particular. Wow. Has anyone had the dream where they're flying and your breathing controls your floating distance? What? I once had a dream about a coaster that gave me back pain because it was so fast, but it was so fun. I got a King Deca shirt made from glitter, and I once built my own coaster as well. Strawberry Jam is here. Welcome, man. I'm gonna show you the 2 finished ideas for the Woody. One recurring coaster I had is called Raptor, not the one at Cedar Point. It takes place over some green hot springs with some swampy theming. Oh, that's so neat. Man. Yeah, this absolutely blew me away, these test results here. For the fear not being that high, this was really good excitement. And 2 on the lats is a little bit high, probably needed a little bit more banking in some of the turns. But this is a Woody where they did not heavily bank. It was definitely an older, inspired layout. 4.4 on the verticals, minus 1.4 for the negative Gs. So definitely some pops of ejector. But I did not expect this to be anywhere near as good as it came out, but I'm thinking of maybe how to make it a bit better. If I dream about coasters, it's one that I've ridden or know well. So is every coaster you dream about Fury 325? No, but I would say that is probably among the top. That's awesome. For me, it's spontaneous. Once had a dream where I was on a plane, went lucid and turned the plane into a roller coaster. I also had one where I was a dragon. Don't watch my flight sim streams then, because it's going to be the most boring roller coaster. I once dreamed the entrance to Carowinds was in my backyard. Oh man! That would be the kind of dream I would want to have, and then I'd wake up upset because it isn't reality. Please name the best one. See you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. Oh lord. Been a while since I've heard that, but yeah. Please name... I saw that. I dreamed Wrath of Rakshasa was an unfinished wooden coaster. Man. I gotta say, I'm having so much fun. To be real with you all, over the past few months, I really got burned out on PC2, and I even just didn't feel like streaming Flight Sim, just because I was flying in the real world, and I'm like, well, what's the point of doing Flight Sim if I'm doing it in the real world? And I had a lot going on. The last few months at work have been kind of rough. This week was particularly bad at work. But certain people, I'm not going to name names, and this is not a criticism, but a lot of people were like, man, you need to get back into streaming. Like, it's been so long, like, you kind of almost dropped off the face of the earth. Give us some PC2, give us some Flight Sim, just get back on and be in touch. And I'm like, okay, I'll make myself do it, and I did. And I gotta give a shout out to Point Coasters, gotta give a shout out to Velocituber, shouted me out, got me a bunch of people viewing. I've had such great turnout on my PC2 streams. Even my Flight Sim streams have been doing pretty well lately. And, you know, it's kind of reinvigorated me. I've been doing a lot of streams, and it does take up a good bit of time and takes me away from doing other things, but sometimes you just need to be able to sit down, play some games, decompress, enjoy. And I'm not only going to give a shout out to those two who shouted me out, but I'm going to give a shout out to everybody that is new, old, who's been here with me for a long time, maybe even in the middle ground, who have been coming here for a few months, and I really appreciate it. It's kind of re-sparked that that motivation and love for doing stuff in these games. Flight Sim, PC2. It's been great. Like, the last week or two that I've gotten back into streaming, I've been so thrilled. It's been such a motivation to keep going and doing that stuff. So I've really got to give a shout out to everybody watching today. And I like computer games. I actually really do enjoy them. If you can't tell, then I'm doing something wrong. But I like sharing that with other people. A good friend of mine in the real world, he said that he feels like playing games without creating content is a waste of time. And I disagree with that, because sometimes you just need to be able to get into something and enjoy it yourself. But streaming it, sharing it, just is even more of a motivation for me, because it feels like what I'm doing, I'm able to share with people, give them an inspiration, teach them something, more so on the Flight Sim side. The PC2 side, I don't feel like I'm really teaching, although I have. But I feel like I'm learning as much as I might be teaching, if not more, on coasters, parks, and stuff like that. And it's just so easy to connect with people that way. So I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm really thankful to all of you all. She dreams she turned into a dragon, but quick question, was that dragon an iron dragon? Oh! I'll sometimes go to Silver Dollar City in my dreams and wake up disappointed. Yeah. In Flight Sim, you can crash into your hater's house, which you can't do in the real world. No. So Flight Sim, I'm a real world private pilot working on an instrument rating, and I've been flying for 17 years now. So, no, what I try to do with that is as realistic as possible. PC2, yeah, you have a little bit more creative liberty. Thanks for the shout-out cookie. That should add an extra 0 views to my 0 videos. Oh my gosh, band player, you wise guy. Everybody, you know what? If Band Player made videos, I would 100% point you all to his videos, because what he makes in-game is amazing. I mean, I can really compliment everybody here. Just downloaded the 2 Woodies, hopefully, for the Mediterranean Park. Alright. Check the Frontier Workshop. Cerberus and just a GCI. We need an in-real-life flight stream. No, I would like to do that, but number 1, I don't have my own plane. Number 2, I don't have the equipment to be able to do that. I have a camera, so I could record just different aspects of flying, but the audio infrastructure is not set up to be able to record it for video. I would love to do that someday. If I ever get my own plane, I would definitely consider doing it. Because I promote, like, real-world aviation practices in the Flight Sim streams. You see that I try to do this stuff realistically. And I'm all about safety. Because when you are in a real plane, you don't screw around. Because if you do something wrong, it literally could cost you your life. And I'll share, I'm kind of hesitant to share this, but I actually had a friend in college, and he ended up becoming a captain with United Airlines, flying 757s and 767s, and he got married and took his wife into a small plane and crashed in Colorado and killed them both. And I was so disheartened to hear that. So, that's why, too, you make jokes about people crashing and stuff like that. I don't find it funny. It's because that has a little bit of personal significance. So, that's why I really try to do stuff realistically, and I really don't like when something goes wrong, per se, in the sim. Stuff like that. I don't mean to be pushy, but can we get to our creations? We can. Yeah, I'm digressing a little bit. This has been most of the stream tonight, is chatting with you all, and we've got such a great turnout, and I love interacting with you all and stuff like that, and that's one thing with my PC2 streams. It does sometimes become a distraction, but I don't want to discourage you all from chatting. I love it. Chat with you all, with each other, chat with me, and if I'm getting like too distracted and stuff, yeah, point me to get back to what you all are really here for. So, yeah, Dale, it really is. God rest his soul. I absolutely, yeah. Game glitches, yeah, you can't really do anything about that. That happens. Okay, I'm gonna save the rest of these. Actually, many of these we've looked at. This one we haven't, but this is pretty bad. It's... I can upload it to the workshop, share a code, and if anybody wants to take it and mess with it. It was a little bit inspired by Copperhead Strike. We're not gonna watch it, the POV, but you've got the JoJo roll, you've got the launch, up into a vertical loop, a top? Nope. No, it's a banked turn. It's not overbanked, but pretty steep. Double up, dive drop, another launch into an inverted top hat, very, very much inspired by Copperhead Strike. And a whole bunch of other stuff, so... yeah, I can share it for people that may want to check it out and play with it and stuff. So... I'm not even going to bother with the rest, because most of you all have seen all of these, either on previous streams or just from being here long enough. Here's my code for the giant, Woody. Third time the Fury 325's the Crazanity has dropped that. Alright, folks. I'm tuning chat out for a few minutes. We're gonna take a look at some stuff. Jurassic Point, we will check your park out tonight. The first thing I want to do is go to Dale's, because I looked at it earlier. He asked last night. So we'll actually go into the collaborations here. Granite Peaks. Editing locked. Yeah, no, you know what? We're gonna go to something else. Dale, if you would unlock that, so... or, well, it may not be Dale. Whoever has that locked. Guys, he has returned. Yeah. Alright, let me get a few codes here. $590 TCS. The Connecticut Giant. Jurassic Point, drop your code, and that way I have it ready to go when the time comes to look at it. King Coaster is back for my soul. My park is the Kings Island looking one on the main page. Okay, hold on. There we go. $40 megabytes, oh, that's going to be a pretty hefty park. Alright, we'll take a look at this one first until we can get Dale's Park unlocked, and then we'll check out the individual coasters. Man. No! Oh, that hasn't happened in months, and my PC2 just crashed. Hang on. Sorry for the spike there in the audio. It does have mods. That...
Oh, yeah!
Alright, let me try it one more time. If it crashes again, I don't think there's gonna be anything that I can do. Yeah, that's no good. I got jumped. I'm sorry about that. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. That's a disappointment. I was looking forward to checking that out too. Yeah, even I can't access it. Wow. Okay, something's going on then. Okay. Waiting for that to come up. Would you like a different park of mine? Yeah, we can check one out. Yep. Unlock Granite Peaks. Alright, what we'll do is we'll come into a sandbox park. Check out Crazy Entities. Alright. We'll give this a go real quick. Anybody else that has posted codes for coasters, just remind me. And I'll place them, we can take a look at them. The Ride of Steel recreation you downloaded. Yep, okay, thank you. King Coaster is gonna eat me. Not now, I've saved you, we're loaded in. Alright. Start, and we'll switch to front bumper. There we go. Batman? Yep. I didn't want to see the fourth code drop. Alright, let's skip the left hill. Oh, good lord! That lift hill is longer than the queue. I feel like those trims hit a little bit hard, but now I can see why. Bro, skip the lift hill. ASMR. Oh! Alright. That was a lot of fun. There's a lot of good stuff going on here. That first drop was really nice, and I like this giant hill that you come up over. And then kind of a halfway drop back up around. And those trims felt like they hit really hard. But yeah, really nice camelback. Oh, nice, another turnaround, another camelback, another camelback. As I'm looking at it from the top-down perspective, more or less. Yeah, this has a lot of great stuff going on. I really can't find anything to point out. In particular, it was just a really seamless ride experience that was fun from start to end. And I feel like those are a gross underrating right there. Look at those G-forces. Those are so well, so well set up with the ride layout and stuff. They're really kept under control, but you get such a good ride experience. And probably those G-forces being so reasonable mess these two up, which I don't like the way that the EFN scores work in-game, unfortunately. $51.95 feet of track on this Woody. Torturing Tails mean streak was definitely some of the inspiration for you. Tortigan frick, you autocorrect. That's awesome. If you see rough spots, that's intentional. And no, nothing really stood out to me as being rough. And with Woody's, if it did, I could understand it. Yeah, so well tamed and good ride for it. Poop on the EFN. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. How about my Cedar Point Shores recreation? Yeah, Jurassic, as long as it does not crash my game, then, yeah, we'll look at it. Yeah, I'm bummed out that the Kings Island recreation didn't work, because that looked really nice from the little preview that I could see. Don't forget my Batman. Yep! So yeah, this is a super good Woody. Really, really impressive. Woody Hoodie Allen. Batman. Batman. Oh, shut up, Cookie. Ha. Alright, got that level to the ground. Yeah. Yep, that looks good. So take a look back here at this kind of entrance. Gotham Park. Enter here. The queue is really nice. It's got great scenery. Gotham City, building toward a better tomorrow. Heck yeah. That's really neat. I like the theming. Whoops. Got the queue passing under here. And Broad Avenue storm drain access. I'm not going to walk through the queue, but if you look, the level of detail in the queue is really nice. Oh. I can't see. Alright. I think we do need to walk through it here. I'm gonna turn the torch on just so I can see a little bit. Please remove earrings, headband aids, etc. Loose fitting shoes should be removed. This, not this. And the ride entrance. Switch. Whoops. Seat 2, there we go. It's darker in real life, to be honest. Yeah, I can see that. Skip the lift hill. I'm sorry for those of you that love lift hill ASMR. All right. What a fantastic recreation. I really like that. It feels, and I've never been on a Batman invert clone. They've got 5 or 6 of them, I think. But I'm familiar enough to tell you that the recreation is very accurate, and it looks fantastic. It is smooth. I do feel like at a couple points on the ride, particularly the first drop, before you go into the vertical loop, I do think it could use a tiny bit of smoothing. But overall, the coaster did feel very smooth. And yeah, just the scenery is fantastic around the ride. It really captured the experience. Not only the coaster itself, but what you're seeing while you ride it. This is very beautifully presented. I think you did a fantastic job. The dead spots of Rough are accurate to real life. Six Flags Great America. Okay, good to know. Then that's awesome. Because I know there's a little bit of difference between some of the Batman clones. But I, of course, having not been on, well, any of them, but especially not the one at Great America, that if you purposely simulated the roughness, then yeah, there you go. Hey, what's going on, Velocituber? Welcome back. It's very accurate, but I think that final turn could use some more banking, if I'm being honest. The Furious spamming coasters at this point. No, he did share that one. Asked me to check it out. Going to Six Flags over Georgia tomorrow. Heck yeah, that's awesome. I actually thought about going there this weekend. I don't think I'm going to make it tomorrow. Maybe next weekend, and I want to try to get to Fun Spot Atlanta to get on Air Force One before it shuts down. Yeah, I am. Yeah, if you have something that you want me to check out, we definitely can do so. Alright. Crazanity had another one. It was the Superhero Ride of Steel. Everything looks above ground, so we're good. Let's go ahead and check this out. To be honest, the queue was probably one of my most realistic I've ever made. That's so cool. Alright, let's give this a go here. We'll go from bumper, start test. And I'll get that code here in a bit. This is my last creation this stream, Dale, I promise. Bro is summoning coasters from the coaster inventory. Can we skip that lift hill? Yeah. It's a little faster, but still. Save a little bit of time. Oh, there's a bird. Oh, that was a close call. those pops of airtime in the last part of the ride really did feel intense, and I've not been on Ride of Steel, so I can't compare to the real world. This, from what I do know, this does look like a very accurate recreation. It is very well done. Fear your coasters are solid AF. I like to give you a hard time, bud. I mean, I have a whole catalog. You want a Jinma? I'll pull that right out of my inventory. Oh, that's so funny. Randomly plopping a Batman and a Superman ride next to each other is a very Six Flags thing to do. The bird needed a hug. Yeah, right. I remember going on this ride. It is really good, especially the last Bunny Hills. Is this the new Five Flags in Cuba? Oh, Dale, you're such a wise guy. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, look at those stats. Wow. That's actually really solid. And, yeah, look at -2 on the G-forces, on the negatives for airtime. Wow. Yeah, this is really impressive. I think this is a really good recreation of the ride. Again, I only know of them from watching POV videos and stuff like that, so. But yeah, fantastic job with this. Here's that Jinma you ordered. Yeah, I'm not sure that we're gonna look at that tonight. I've got some other stuff. You didn't check my Batman's ride stats. Yeah, we can look at them. Again, with the EFN scores, I have said this a number of times, and I wish Frontier would change it. I feel like they penalize inversion-based coasters and positive Gs, and these should definitely be higher. Now, I'm curious, does the real-world Batman at Great America pull almost 2.5 lateral Gs? These are reasonable. And I can't hate on that if this is a real-world recreation. I have a feeling it would probably be right here where the laterals are that high. But yeah, yes, if not more. Or could that be a case where, well, that's pretty steeply banked actually. Yeah, where I would normally criticize laterals when people build custom coasters, I don't think I really can right here. It doesn't pull the Gs it says here. The game definitely over-exaggerated. It also counts if it lasts a tick. Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say that does sound a little bit overkill. Alright, Strawberry Jam dropped his codes. Good call out, Spino, yep. 3 flags in Venezuela, 2 flags over the Kremlin, 1 flag over Mother... Oh, no! Alright, let me get, Strawberry Jam's codes here. If anybody else had shared something earlier, and I haven't gotten to it, just give me a reminder. I can actually go check on the workshop and double check that I didn't miss anything. 3WLSVHBW7 for, alright, Barnstormer. We'll check that out here in a little bit. And Spino C1JPBMPXR. Shockwave recreation. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Awesome. Shockwave closed in 2002? Wow, so it really did not make it long. Because Great American Scream Machine, I think, went from 89 to 2010, and then Viper is still operational. Dale, I know better than that. Nice try. And let me get strawberry jams here. We have 89C4J4TRN Cerberus. $8D8KGPQ1L GCI. Okay. Mine is on the main page. Cedar Point Shores. Got it. It killed people in their sleep after they wrote it. Recreate Drakenfire? Ooh! You know what? I'm gonna look just out of curiosity if somebody has. Drakenfire. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we do have a few recreations of that. Yep. They said save the Whizzer and Shockwave became chopped liver. Oof. When the Superman flying canister was meant to be added to Great America, it was Whizzer or Shockwave, so it's fine. Could you do mine first? Because I gotta go to bed. Barnstormer. Yep, we will pull Barnstormer real quick. Let me make sure I level it correctly. Not 100%, but that's pretty close. Alright, what do we have here? Murphy Rides spinning coaster. That doesn't make any sense. What was the alien twister thing? Was that some sort of a bug? That was really weird. Was that? Oh, that's this over here. That's another coaster. Okay. Yeah, we'll look at Barnstormer. Can you do mine next, just because it's late? Yeah, but I gotta say, just I know it is late. It's 11:30 here on the East Coast, so go. Front bumper. Yeah, we can do that there. Start test. Bong Stoner Dale. Yeah, this is a short-lived hill. Man, y'all are crazy. No, my internet is glitching now. Oh no. Ooh. Oh, I love that station flyby. That is so cool. It's so rare that you actually see something like that in game. I like that. So it's one of those new gen Vekoma suspended coasters. So definitely a suspended family coaster right there. And I like it. It felt smooth. I like the theming. I will rave about the flyby over the station, and that is so cool. And it's so well incorporated too, because you have the little holes in the barn up above the station. So when you're right here standing in line to get on the coaster and you can see the train pass right over the top, that is so neat. What a fun coaster. Would love to ride it in real life. I would too. This is something that I think I would just have so much fun on. Just for the scenery. It's not intense, of course, being a suspended family coaster. Yeah, the Vekoma Jr. And, I mean, of course, the stats reflect that it is not a super intense coaster, but you know what? Sometimes something just mild that is really well presented, like this, can make such a great ride. And this is such a good example of that. I really enjoyed this. It looks amazing. It's so beautifully presented. And then I think the ride itself incorporates a lot of good elements that make it fun without making it intense. So it definitely fits the theme and the type of ride that you're going for. Switching to this account because the phone battery is low. RIP battery. Gonna get to bed, Cookie. Have a great night. Alright, Dino Dukes, thank you so much for hanging out. Good to see you as always. And have a great rest of the night, alright? Yeah, super awesome. Whatever this alien twister, I would like to see what you do with that at some point. It does not look finished. So I would wait for you to tie everything in, do what you want with it. We could definitely check that out in the future. Alright, Velocituber, you heading off for the night? Or were you staying bye to the others? I have a park with this ride in it on the workshop. Alright. Let me see what is next. I like the color palette for that alien looking coaster. Yeah, it does look cool. So we've got Cedar Point Shores to check out. Can you spotlight one of my parks in the next week or so? It's very good. Yeah, I think we could arrange that. One thing I will say I prefer is to showcase individual coasters rather than parks. But yeah, you ask in advance, I think we can definitely squeeze that in. Does it crash the game? I really like that color palette too. Yeah! Yeah, the, not quite lime green, more like neon green, and the teal, bright teal actually, the supports. I think that's a really good color scheme. Okay. Let me... Did we look at everything here? Yeah. Okay. Just making sure I'm not missing anything. Could you spotlight one of my parks in the next week or so? I think you've got a little bit of a delay. I said we would. I love how the neons go so well with the alien aesthetic. Yeah, absolutely. Alright, we'll come in here and take a look at... You forgot my shockwave? We'll go back to that for sure. Thank you for reminding me. I really, let me see here. I know this is about last stream, but what was your favorite element on Nebula? I'm not totally sure. I'd have to go back and look, but I would say that, that big drop where you reach your top speed of about 160 miles an hour was really impressive. It was so well done. I really would have to go back and look at it. It's a regional theme park, so no special theming. Okay. So what do we have here? I'm not going to spend a whole ton of time. Actually, you know what? There's enough room back here that we could drop Shockwave. So let's do that. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's leveled okay. Almost everything was built custom and it's unfinished. My favorite would have to be that insanely slow zero G roll. Yeah, I did like that too. And I do like the slow zero G barrel rolls. Big fan of the kids area. Yeah, we'll check that out. So we have a... Yep, Magnum XL 200. Take a look at that. Cedar Point Shores. So we've got that, and then a bunch of water rides and stuff. Let's just look at these before we check the coaster out, and we'll look at Shockwave as well. Mine on the workshop. Okay, so while I'm checking all of this stuff out, just hold off on the codes for now, especially if we're not going to get to it tonight, because it is a little bit tough for me to keep up, especially when we have a lot of people chatting and a lot of stuff kind of in line to look at. So yeah, we've got a couple nice modest water slides right over here. Kind of very, yeah, this is a shallow section. People are just walking through it. Really nice. Bunch of lounge chairs. Very cool. Got a pool over here. This is such a cute park. Yeah, it really is. Rode Magnum Wednesday. Definitely needed a reminder of how janky those airtime hills were. Magnum is a blueprint, one of the only things. Okay. Hey, well, that's fine. It's still cool that you incorporated that here. We've got a... I forget what these are called. Oh, raft flume. Okay. So storm surge. I'm trying to remember what the one at Carowinds is called. Carolina Harbor. But this looks nice. You've got the splash pool. You've got the lift back for the rafts. Yo, we've got a frickin' Dippin' Dots. Do not sit or stand on shelf. That's awesome. Got the Gelato Bros right there. Dippin' Dots. I really like that. That's common. I mean, they have Dippin' Dots stands all over Carowinds. Just bump the crime percentage up and it will be just like it. Oh, wow. It gives Kentucky Kingdom. You've got the kiddie area with the... Almost looks like a miniature Loch Ness monster or something like that. You've got the sandcastle. This is really cool. Got the beach ball, a few short, modest water slides and body slides. This is really nice. I like that a lot. You can walk around it, or you can just swim over to whatever platform you want to go to. Slope down there. Someone is the reason that sign says don't sit or stand on that shelf. I'm finna rob this Dippin' Dots vendor. Wow. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, what do we say to Dale when he tries to rob the Dippin' Dots? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. You know what to say. Peaches and cream? Alright. Oh, I get that. Yeah, like peaches and cream. That's so cool. Really cute buildings. Night, guys. Alright, Velocituber, have a great night. Thank you so much for hanging out. Out! 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 Boo! Dale's not happy about getting kicked out for trying to rob the, Dippin' Dots. Oh, that's hilarious. Crystal Rock Cafe. Bunch of gulpy soda stands here. And then you've got Pizza Pen, Chief Beef. Back over here, more Pizza Pen and Chief Beef. And this looks... Yeah, you've got some stands over here. So delightful. Yeah, so this looks unfinished. I'm sure it would be a work in progress. And I think if you were able to fully develop this, that would be so impressive. And when I think of Crystal Rock, you know what you could do? Is take a few of those crystals from the... I get it that this may not really be thematically appropriate for what you're going for, but I just think of the name and think that the glowing crystals from the sorcery pack would be so fitting for a like a restaurant or a food court with that name. You've got a... Is this a... Yep. Looks like a giant lazy river. Dale, don't be disappointed that it isn't around a volcano. Nah, the Dippin' Dots guy can get robbed. You can't trust what the Dippin' Dots guy says for sure. Wow. Six Flags over Georgia tomorrow in a vlog. Have a great time. I'm a little bit jealous. So, but yeah, hope you have an awesome time there. Enjoy it. Looking forward to checking that out. And, folks, go check out Velocituber if you haven't already. He's got some great videos, and he was so kind to give me a shout out here recently. Does pineapple belong on pizza or not? Spoiler warning, it doesn't. You know what? I'm gonna open up a very controversial topic in a poll in chat. There we go. And let the war begin. This is Ghetto Starter Park 101 and I effing love it. And wow, Dale. Kings Island is getting the Son of Beast RMC, some random Dippin' Dots guy. I've never had pineapple on pizza. Good. Wow. Breaking news, interview with Dipping Dots, Stan Guy confirms new first Giga RMC iBox coaster to come to Kings Island. Alright, while I let you all have fun with that, I am going to step up real quick, and we'll be back in a moment. Gotta take a quick break, top off my water, and take care of something real quick, and we'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Alright, let me get caught up here real quick. Yep, breaking news, got that. Where's the option for I don't like pizza? Oh no! That's rare. Hey, I'm not gonna judge you, because I understand everybody kind of has their preferences, but that's rare. I absolutely love pizza. I actually make homemade pizzas, believe it or not, on a grill. That's the easiest way to do it. If you don't like pizza, you can just leave America. Wow. Dippin' Dot's stand guide just told me that Six Flags Great America is replacing every ride with Shockwave and Z-Force. What coaster should I recreate? I may not like pizza, but I like Dino Nuggies. Oh, wow. You should recreate the Jurassic World water ride, homie. Dippin' Dot's guide told me they're keeping Thunderation down here in Branson. The music is so calm. Yeah, it really is. Dipped in ketchup, I bet. Yep. Oh boy, a challenge, the best ride ever. Make Fury 325, but as an RMC layout? Wow. Best ride I've done is X2, no doubt. Iron Dragon fans, Fury 325, but using the newest tram model from the parade's back? What? Dale out? Oh, that is hilarious. What in the world? Y'all are too freaking funny. I absolutely love this. Okay, so we have 6 votes. 5 of you said pineapple on pizza out. Somebody said it's fine, nothing special. I actually fall in that category as well. There's not a lot of people that tend to take a middle-of-the-road approach. I know several people that absolutely love pineapple on pizza. I don't, but I don't hate it. I'm okay with it. Somebody just voted not really a fan, so... Yeah, what an interesting result to the poll. I did not expect it to be so heavily lopsided. That was me. Yeah. Geo, American Nightmare, both of you, hello, welcome. Great to see you. Alright. Anyway, let's come back over this way, take a look at the rest of the water park. And we've got several restaurant counters over here. Bunch of benches. So here's one thing with the game mechanics. Every restaurant can accommodate up to 20 assigned tables. So I think if you're going to have 4 of them, I would put a whole ton more tables down. That said, it doesn't bother me. Yeah, that's fair. Yes, my friend needs to see this. They think pineapple belongs on pizza. No, it doesn't. Oh. Well, hey, look at this. It's kind of changed a bit. Well, now we have an 8th vote, another for not really a fan. Yeah, it's definitely skewed toward no. But it is getting a little bit more balanced out there. That sounds fun. Let me see. Would you watch a video of me recreating random coasters from memory? Yeah, no, that would be awesome. And we've got these like triple twister. These are double tube. I think that looks pretty cool. And then take a look. Oh, yes. So I absolutely love these types of pools. Just the tidal pools or the I've heard them called a bunch of different things. Tide pools, wave pools, surf pools, except you can't really bring a surfboard and stuff like that. So but this is really nice. I like the shape. Configuration is really good. You've got these cabanas back over here with some kind of picnic tables. The cabanas look really nice. This reminds me very much of Carolina Harbor's wave pools, where you've got the building right at the back. This is another blueprint, but a super good one. Yeah, it really is. Geo, no, this is a recreation from Jurassic Point. Yeah, these are really nice. And holy cow! There are so many like sun lounging chairs here, and look at them. I mean, this is almost fall. I was about to say that seems excessive, the number of chairs, but when you look at the number of people over here, it definitely is not excessive. It looks really good. Man, I'm getting tired. I can't stay longer, but you haven't showcased my 2 coasters yet. Yeah, we're gonna get to them. Since this coaster here, the Magnum XL, that's a recreation, I'm gonna wait for that. I want to check out Shockwave, and we'll check out your 2 coasters, Strawberry Jam. So, we'll look at this first, then we'll take a look at those 2 coasters. And I'm actually running on a lot more steam than I thought I would have at midnight. So, alright, let's start. Front bumper. Here we go. Speed this up. I have a coaster for next stream. I have to finish it first. Yeah, sounds good. I have a Frontier Workshop slide. Alright, Geo. Yeah, we can take a look at it. Maybe next time would be better, since it is getting pretty late. It's gonna be really rough, by the way. I see that right there. It does feel rough, but hey, Aero. So, what do you expect? Do you expect a glass smooth Aero coaster? My head, ow my head. I can think of one semi-smooth Aero coaster, that would be Tennessee Tornado. Aside from that, your guess is as good as mine. People died after riding this in their sleep. Holy cow. I think I already have a minor concussion. I can feel the headache through the screen. Wow. I think this was really neat, though. It does look really nice. And I think it's a very good recreation. It definitely does feel rough, and I think that is a good representation of what these Aero Mega Loopers were, slash, well, in the case of Viper, are. I do feel like the transitions were probably even a little bit more abrupt, but I can't say from experience. It's like the rolls into a banked turn. They just felt so whippy. And I don't know whether that was or is the case of how they were, or if those transitions from straight to banked were a little bit more gradual. I really don't know. So, reminds me of Viper. Well, it should. That's good. Just blue. Yeah, I mean, yeah, an Aero Mega Looper Viper, Shockwave, and Great American Scream Machine. I think all of them should, in theory, remind you of the others. Spino is spot on, way rougher. I never rode Shockwave, but from the POVs alone, I could tell it was horribly rough. In real life, this thing was probably rougher, yeah. The Aero suspended coasters are actually pretty smooth. Okay, different type of Aero coaster, but yeah, I could definitely see that. So let's see here, Spino, I'm adding this to my revamped King's Point, now taking inspo from King's Dominion as well. St. Geo says, yeah, better be, because today I can't open Planet Coaster 2. That's okay. Oh, you said you were going to a water park today, I think, right? Is it midnight for you? I think we're in different time zones. Yeah, so I'm in South Carolina, so it's just after midnight. The Coca-Cola Cabana. Watched a video today with PC2 Park with Fog, Miss Barbara, and Trash Panda, and they created a pizza place with pineapple on top, but where they lost me was... Wait a second. Pineapple cheese stuffed crust? Is that actually a thing? Pineapple cheese stuffed crust? Yeah, 6 a.m. It opens at 10 a.m. Well, good early morning, Geo. You are up quite early. Iron Wolf caused brain bleeds? What? I think the smoothest model Aero was actually the suspended coaster. The Bat and Iron Dragon are extremely smooth, and I didn't get a single bit of headbanging. Awesome. Check the stats. Yeah, we'll look at that. Okay, now I'm a little bit conflicted how I feel about the way that these stats were evaluated, and this doesn't have to do with the coaster itself, just thinking EFN scores. I feel like that fear or intensity would be on par, if not maybe even a little bit higher, but I feel like the excitement is lower than it should be based on these. People from all around the globe be here. Yeah, we've got people from America, we've got people from Europe, we've got people from Asia, we have people from Australia, New Zealand. It's awesome. I think, I don't know about PC2, but I've had a few people from my flight sim streams from Africa and South America, which is pretty awesome. Welcome, soccer fans. Dale. 2.2, 5.2. That actually seems pretty accurate for a for an Aero Mega Looper. They had some very intense G-forces. Minimum vertical Gs are 0. This is interesting, and I'm wondering where they hit exactly 0, because now I'm really curious about that. I want to look at that, and I'm not going to spend too much time because I really do want to get to strawberry jams. They're not... Oh, wow! Okay, so it actually hits 5.25, so the maximum is in that first vertical loop. Wow! The question is, where's the 0? Is it maybe... No, it's not there. It starts going positive again. I'm struggling to find it. Yeah, it doesn't have any airtime, but technically 0 Gs is floater. But there are no airtime hills, so My thought was maybe hang time in one of the elements, but yeah, maybe here coming through the corkscrews. I'm not totally sure. Granite Peaks will be on the next stream after I yelled at band player. Yeah, I did want to check that out, and I just got bombarded with all sorts of other things. I don't know, we might finish the night out with that. Okay, let me grab strawberry jams. So we have GCI was one of them. And remind me what the second one was. Yeah, it is pretty late. I don't know. I'm still not running out of steam, so... And you can tell if I... Dale will always be like, yeah, you're fading, call it a night. I hope he's still here. Strawberry Jam, you better still be here. We're checking out your coasters. Bye, thanks for showing off my recreations. See you next time. Alright, Spino, have a great night. Thank you so much. Great work. Everybody has created really good stuff that we're looking at tonight. I mean, you all always do, so. Alright, what was the other one? I can actually just go into my installs. Cerberus. That's right. Best Jam Wolf. Brett Favre is coming back to play for the Packers. I found that way funnier than I probably should. He's not here. Alright, I'm gonna give him a couple minutes. And if he doesn't show up in a couple minutes, we'll save those two coasters for next time. In the meantime, I guess we could look at this Magnum recreation. I don't like those stats. I get a spoiler, and I already don't like them. That's not fair. I have a feeling this is going to be way better than those stats actually show. Cookie just has a great laugh, to be honest. Well, thanks. Sometimes it's a very lighthearted laugh, and then a really... a deep, hefty laugh. Ah! Oh, shoot. I did not slow it down in time, and it had double speed. Alright, skip the lift hill. Why is it quiet? This has to be one of the quietest lift hills I think I've ever heard. Mile of trim brakes at the end will do it? Oh, yeah. Well, have to see. A couple other slides there. Was it banked on those trims in the real world? I'm not totally sure. Too smooth. In real life, it is banked on the trims. Interesting. Oh, great recreation of the tunnel. Magnum is 205 feet tall. That was a big lift hill, yeah. Why did those mid-course brakes hit so hard? Or is this just kind of filler track? Ow, my legs are just... Everyone forgets about Orient Express. It was also a decent-sized arrow to Cookie. It, not I, autocorrect. Oh, I was also a decent... Man, Tortigan Tails. Back in the day, Tortigan Tails was an awesome arrow. I didn't even catch that at first. If I were on this, I'd high-five the people that went by. Yeah, right. Yes, I don't know those... Well, this is definitely what is killing the excitement. Just that the train really crawls through this. This is basically a filler track, but I have a feeling those... They're not really mid-course, but not the final breaks. Yeah, that... This whole section kills the score, for sure. And I have a feeling if that didn't hit this hard, the train would still move decently through this, and it would not have that much of an impact. That end would make me hop TF off. Oh, Magnum XL 200 is so expensive. How much y'all charging to go on this? 12 bucks? Yeah. I guess we could look at the forces real quick. Yeah. Previous run. Yep, that explains it right there, because all of this is pretty good. Although I'm surprised the excitement is not that high on this. It just must not provide a lot of floater. Yeah. The mid-course is actually the final brake run, can give you a pretty harsh slam. Okay. Yeah, that's good to know. Of course, I've not been on the real-world ride, so... Yep, you're not getting airtime on this. You get a little bit of lift out of the seat, but it's not true airtime, so yeah. That's why. And I mean, to be fair, the Aero Hypers and even the Morgan Hypers were not really built for airtime, although they definitely do have some. It seems like those were almost like Giovanola's Hypers, which are meant for speed. Heading out. Thanks for touring my park. A better non-modded work in progress. Kings Point will be waiting for next live stream. Alright, sounds good. Jurassic Point, have a great night. Thank you so much for hanging out, man. 0.67. I didn't even see that. 0.86, 0.65. Unless you're just making a joke. And the last little bit over here. Got a couple Chief Beef stalls, some more tables with umbrellas. Now, yeah, I'm not sure about these, but there should be a way that you could actually snap the umbrellas down to the base so they're not sitting up so lofted right on top of the table. Goliath at Magic Mountain is just an oversized kiddie coaster at this point. Airtime Thrills even had it at his number 1. What? No. Oh, like 2000 or 2001. Oh, well, yeah, that would make more sense. It opened in 2000, and it was a very popular attraction back then. And that was before... I mean, that was before B&M really did hypers. I mean, they had Apollo's Chariot in 99, and Raging Bull, I think, was the second one, and I don't think that was built until 03, maybe? What is Harry Potter sidecar? What? So... yeah, it looks like Strawberry Jam jumped off. I said we were going to get to them, but I think he probably had to head off. It is pretty late. And we are almost reaching the 3-hour mark. Raging Bull opened in 99? Did it? There is a way to put the umbrella in between the table. Yeah, some of them... yeah, some of them they snap right in place. I'm not sure that that works with all of them. But... guys, Helby's back for me. Oh yeah, King Coaster on top of the world. Right now he's found his way up to Canada. Oh, Canada. King Coaster's here for you. Oh no. All the Canadians are gonna thumbs down and unsub. Yeah, there is a way. Yeah, I wasn't totally sure if all of them would, but I do know that some of them did have the ability to snap in place. Alright, here we go to Granite Peaks. We're not gonna look at all of the rides, but I want to look at the park, and yeah, we could check out a couple of the coasters. I think the time is finally starting to catch up to me. It did help that I took a short nap. I actually fell asleep on the couch after I came back inside from doing yard work in the intolerable humidity. Alright, let's see here. And there's a lot of stuff I can tell the game is running a little bit slow. But, so I will say I did look at this early in the day. I jumped in the game off stream just to look at a couple things. And one thing that really caught my attention with this park, and you all can see it right now, the scenery is absolutely freaking amazing. You've already rode all the coasters? Have I? Okay. The new parade pack or update tables are so legit and easy. That's awesome. He's laughing at me before he eats me. S words for 2000, Alex. Oh, wow. Every coaster I've showcased is here. Oh, yeah, okay. I do remember that. I don't remember the building being in place. But yep. We looked at that. Oh, I hear fireworks. Ooh. Trees are thick up here. This right back here I think is so cool. I absolutely love the rapids and all of the rock work that you've done around it. This park is so pretty. Absolutely, this is definitely one of the prettiest parks I've looked at. The scenery is just so thoroughly developed, it's incredible. this here cowboy on the run. Did I look at this? Oh my gosh! Strawberry jam. I put your 2 coasters down and I said, Strawberry jam, you still here? And I thought you left, and because you didn't say anything, and I'm like, well, you know what? I'm not going to look at your coasters if you're not here. So we'll save them when you can actually, like, see me reviewing them. Yeah, I did. I don't remember this one. But the way these coasters are set into the surroundings and everything, I absolutely love the presentation. This is the one that we looked at last night, the RMC. Yep, Spartan Run we looked at. This one back here, Granite Peaks Inferno, yep. Wait a second, is this the tram ride? Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the most aggressive tram ride you will ever see, courtesy of Dale. Right back here, oh yeah, that's the Inferno. Ladies and gentlemen, I also present to you the Sundial, aka the Mad Cow. Terrible. And this back here, Alpine Peaks, yeah, this was a really cool invert. Let's just take a moment to appreciate some of the scenery, since we have looked at the coasters. I actually did forget about the cowboy one. But, wow, that's so cool. I want to go in here and look at this. We'll go in. Strawberry Jam, stay with me. We will look at your coasters if you stay with me here. Oh, okay, I see it. So the star pieces are sticking up a little bit. That's why it wouldn't let us drop there for a moment. Why would you say that I'm scared for my life now? Because, so there's a little bit of a backstory to that. I built one of those in the Viking Park, and everybody made fun of it. And are like, great, now we've got an angry cow ride in the middle of the Viking Park. Around top tier, mid tier, really, roller coasters. And you could hear the angry cow across the freaking park. This is such a cool restaurant. I really like this over here. You've got all the counters, all the tables. This is absolutely gorgeous. This must be... Ooh. I don't know if I would say that this is my absolute favorite, but this is definitely up there with one of my favorite restaurant presentations in the sense of the surrounding scenery. The view that you get of this, all the terrain work that you've done, absolutely gorgeous. Take a peek at night. Yeah, we will. Let's go back out of this here. This is so moo. Oh, Geo, getting on the cow jokes. Oh, that's in the way a little bit. Cookie King Daka fangirl wasn't talking about that. Look at the comment I put above hers. Calf and Girl, I saw King Coaster today. He dapped me up. He said he wanted to eat you with that smile. Oh no, that's screwed up, man. Oh no. That's mean. That's horrible. Ladies and gentlemen, Crazanity has just committed a mild infraction of the Cookie Pie rules. He has used King Coaster as a harassment tool. What do we say on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. This is for the Granite Peaks contest. Yeah, hence the name. Out! I love this right back here. Not per se a boardwalk, but kind of. I guess it kind of is. Burgers, ice cream, grill. This is a beautiful restaurant right back here. I love the presentation. You've got kind of this... I'm not sure if it's a log cabin. It kind of is. I was gonna say it looks a little more western, but that definitely fits. Out, please, I'm begging you. Oh! Yeah, this is such a beautiful restaurant. I really like this building right here. And then right over here, in a very similar style, you actually have a gift shop and an arcade on the second floor. So the first floor is your gift shop. And there's no stairs within the building, but you just come back out off the porch and walk up top. And it ties into the restaurant. Same thing over here, no staircase in the building, but you go up the staircase between the two, and there is, I'm guessing this is a separate restaurant on the second floor, and then a beautiful arcade right back here. A bunch of basketball, air hockey. Oh yes, my favorite, good old yeet ball. PC2 folks, I gotta have spaghetti meatballs, then I gotta go to the arcade and play some yeet ball. That's just a little teaser of a little bit of the freestyle rap I've done. Not great, but it kinda works. A few more little shacks here, hot dogs, soda and more, first aid and info, awesome. Ooh, wow. Take a look at this right here. This is beautiful. Got a couple sun chairs. I think that's for decoration. It doesn't look like it's accessible. Yeet, yeet, move. Oh. This is the first time I've actually seen this done in a park. So with the latest update, I think this was part of the free update, but what they did is you can actually incorporate train crossing to go directly over the path, so it doesn't conflict or like make you build a bridge over the railroad tracks. Now, what I would really like to see, I wish they would have incorporated that, is like in the real world where parks have this, is your little barrier gates that drop when the train comes by. I think that would be way too difficult to simulate. Oh, he just got hit by the train. It actually works with the tram road as well. We kill 71 guests per day. Oh my gosh, that's brutal. Alpine Vista Coach, Lake Loop Line. Oh, that's so neat. Yeah, just look at the scenery and with the signs and everything like that. I think this just, the realism really screams there with that. Go to the front entrance. I gotta find it. But I actually did want to look in this. Is this just, yeah, it must be just for scenery. I think it would be really cool if you had a way to make this usable, but I can understand why not. Wait, no, there is some stuff in here. Is it just not accessible right now? But yeah. Oh, there, no, there it is right there. That's so cool. Why is King Coaster here? I'm traumatized. Oh no. Then you got the water park area right back here. This is absolutely beautiful. Dale, you have done such a fantastic job with this. Presentation in this park is just jaw-dropping. It's Yeah, absolutely spectacular. I love this right here. This is so cool. You've got the pool. This is a little bit of a barrier. And I think one thing that I would do is actually build a bridge over this so people could swim underneath, but I know that that might be a little bit tough to do. Actually, probably shouldn't be too tricky, but if it requires a major modification to the layout of the pool, I totally understand that. Update 10 for the bus and train on pathing. Yeah, that's right. It was free update 10. Alright, let's take a look at night. Let's go to 11 in the evening, and this park is absolutely lit at night. Figuratively and literally, absolutely beautiful. I'm looking to see the fireworks, but yeah, you've just got all of the lights around the main path around the main lake here. What's this in the middle? Check this out. Yo, you've got air hockey tables right in the middle of the lake on this island. Yep, some yeet ball, some basketball. That is all Finessing's original design. Alright, credit where credit's due. You've got the cable car that goes down underneath here. Where's the station? Holy cow! That must be really deep underground. Yeah, so kind of like a little cavern or grotto. Wait, it goes through that. So the station is on the ends? Wait, where am I? Where am I? There we go. Okay, yes, we got it there. Goes underground underneath the lake. Take a look at the steamboat sailing around. That's so cool. I feel like that lit pun was intended. It was. Oh, 100%. That's why I said it. Literally and figuratively. Oh, it's right back here. Okay, so that's the way to access the little island in the middle. And you've got the coaster right back here. Did we miss the fireworks, or maybe they're timed to go off a little bit later? Coming right back here to the water park area that I absolutely love. This looks so good at night. It looked great in the daytime. It looks even better at night. Some of the glow-in-the-dark aquatic stuff. These cabanas are so cool. Take a look at that. Many guests are cold. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 19 Celsius. That's, I think, 66 Fahrenheit. And people in the park are cold. I don't know. That seems a little bit too far-fetched. I've got to say, this is probably my favorite area in this park. I absolutely love the way that these are presented. The cabanas, the huts, the water slide complex. Then up here, the Grand Lodge Grill. So you've got a restaurant, two of them up here with plenty of tables. And below that, you actually have a covered wave pool. Awesome. Yeah, look at that. They're all swimming around. You've got the water slides. What? Night chat, Cookie. Alright, Tordic Tails, have a great evening. Thank you so much for hanging out. T3 sucks, man. Yeah, and I just get a kick of the people splashing off of this into the pool. That is so hilarious. Yay! Yeah. Wait a second, somebody is stuck. Let's help her out. Into the pool you go. No longer are you stuck standing on the water slide. Okay, and then the flume platform is right up here. It's so cool. You have a great night, Cookie. I'm gonna head out. Take care. And, well, T3 and Vortex suck. Oh, shots fired. Have a great night, Crazanity. Thanks for hanging out, man. And you've got the little surf ride right back here. This restroom and changing room complex is really nice, elaborate. Yeah, I love this part of the park. This is my favorite part so far. Check out Cowboy's Last Ride at Night if you don't mind. Yeah, we can look at that, and I don't remember that coaster, so yeah, that's a good one to choose. Back over here we have another restaurant, kind of pavilion area. Oh, and it's built in with a gift shop. Flower gardens out over here. That's so cool. Is this? Nope. That's not it. What's this here? Oh yeah, just kind of a couple circular pools connected with a pretty linear. It's like a point A to point B lazy river. I like that. That's actually really neat. And I've got to see the entrance back here. Okay, so the parking lot, the main entrance coming right through here. The roads have a lot of detail, which is cool. And then on each side, you actually have a tickets and info, so like a guest service counter. Some shameless Chief Beef advertising and hot dog squad, heck yeah. And then you walk back through kind of the lobby here. More dining. And a lounge. Yeah, that looks so good. Wow. That's so impressive. I like that a lot. Then you come back through here. Watch for oncoming traffic and buses. Ladies and gentlemen, please do not get hit by the tram. Get out of the road. And here we've got the functional gates. Although they don't actually stop the people from crossing. Which, I think when they added that in Update 10, it would have been... Whoa! Okay, there we go. That's where the fireworks are. I understand that would have been a game mechanic that the developers would have had to add in, but I think that would have just been so cool for a just a realism aspect. And where is the cowboy coaster? Nope. Spartan Run. Clicking rocks. There we go. Here it is. Lightning out, vortex, rocks, shot, return fire. What? Back corner, yeah, here it is. So we'll go ahead and do a POV of this. I think Strawberry Jam's still here. Can we make a park where we're destroying people's skulls? Oh my gosh, Geo, that's brutal. Alright, so here's the station, so we'll wait. Take a look at that right there. Almost 7.5 excitement. Oh, the fear is actually pretty high to the point that's pushed into the orange. Nausea at 2 is a little high, but still in the green. And let's go... Oh! Nope, we're actually gonna go on the train. Brett Favre is on this ride. Alright, if Strawberry Jam did leave, we'll save his 2 coasters for next time. Here we go. No, you are here. Good. Okay, we'll check your coasters out after this here. And we'll finish up with that. Lying low right now? Yeah, that's all good. At least you're here, so I know we can check your coasters out tonight. Ooh, that packs a punch. Whoa. Double inline. Demonic knot. Just talking with my brother. Okay. Yeah, all good, man. And actually, it's cool that that passes over the RMC there, so that could, if it's timed right, that could actually be a really neat ride interaction. I would love to ride this in real life. It is so cool. Yeah, it really is. This looks like so much fun, especially at night. I feel like you need a little bit more banking in some spots. Brett Favre comment. Got him. Oh! Yeah. That was super fun. And let's look at your... Oh, yeah. Well, that right there. Yeah, 5 lats. That would hurt people. 7 vertical Gs. Definite blackout. Really intense... negative G's right there. 13 inversions, and actually does incorporate some airtime moments. So I think a few of the forces probably need to be tempered down in some spots, and I have a feeling what's happening is certain parts of the ride, when you build a coaster where the forces get... I don't mean this in the wrong way, so take this in the spirit of which I'm trying to share and convey the point. But when you have something where your forces get really strong, almost out of control, the fear goes up so much and the nausea goes up to where it actually does pull the excitement down. And so if we look here, we'll go previous. Oh wow, okay, so that section. Never mind. I mean, we could look at it a bit, but yeah, this is really good though. I think the presentation, just like with everything else in this park, the presentation is absolutely great. It is a lot of fun. This ride has a ton of super cool elements. Brett Favre, he was the quarterback for the Green Bay Packers back in the 90s and 2000s. And Strawberry Jam is a big Packers fan. So I think Dale's taking a little bit of a jab at him. So yeah, this is a super cool coaster. I like it a lot. This is a game, the force is with you, true. Cookie is possible tomorrow. Will give my old park and gonna look at the park with the VOD. Okay. And Queens. Oh, shots fired from a Bears fan. That good old NFC North rivalry with the Bears, the Packers, the Vikings. Hey, nobody's making jokes about the Lions. Yes, this is absolutely beautiful. I love this. This is fantastic. We need another park where me and Dale collab. That was fun. Do it! By all means, go for it. Heck yeah, man. If Dale's up for it. I remember my first vape pen. Geo, what? Codio, not code. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're saying there. What's hilarious is Cookie has access to that park. Yeah. Alright, let's exit out of that. Fantastic job with this. This is absolutely beautiful. Your rides are really neat, Dale. I don't care for the Packers. I'm a Tampa Bay fan. Oh, the Buccaneers. Okay. Now I've got something to say. So, my dad, he grew up in New Orleans, so he is a huge New Orleans Saints fan. And it's so funny because I work, living in South Carolina. There's a whole bunch of Panthers fans, several Falcons fans because I'm close to Georgia, and actually work with a guy who's a big Bucs fan, and he gets a lot of heat from fellow, well, I'm not to say fellow, but from all of the Panthers and more so the Falcons fans. Yeah, we'll get a new park here. We'll drop those two Woodies. Brady is gone, yeah, right. Panthers are basically the Bears D-League. Oh! I remember when the Panthers used to be actually pretty good. And when I lived in North Carolina, pretty much everybody up there are Panthers fans. South Carolina is a little bit more mixed just because, and it depends on the part of the state, because if you go far enough south, you're actually close enough to Jacksonville, so you get some Jags fans. Still a whole bunch of Panthers fans, but if you are in the western part of the state where you're close to Atlanta, or Georgia as a whole, a lot of Falcons fans. And then Saints fans are all over the place. Rivera changed that team. Yeah, it really did. When they had Cam Newton, Christian McCaffrey, all that good stuff. If you're into college football, we all know who is truly the best. South Carolina College. Well, the Gamecocks are not great. In football, but yeah, whole ton of Gamecocks fans around here, and I live in central South Carolina, so that's predominantly what I see. But there are a lot of Clemson fans, even outside of the upstate. There's a whole bunch of Clemson fans. I don't follow college ball a whole lot. I like watching the games because they're entertaining, but I don't really follow college ball hard enough to pull for a team. Alright, so we have Cerberus. And then the other one I think was just called GCI, if I remember right. Let's make sure that's elevated enough. Yeah, that's good there. And let's get that other one real quick here. GCI. Yep, there we go. And we'll put that there. This one will need to be raised a little. I do see a couple portions that are at ground level. I lived in NC when Carolina Panthers were in the Super Bowl in 2015. I did too, actually. Everybody was going nuts. That was a fun time. I only watch Ohio State because my father-in-law and Notre Dame because of Rudy. That's fair. I think one thing, with a couple exceptions, that most people would agree on is that definitely the best college football teams in general come from the SEC. It is the most popular. Like, college football is huge down here in the South, and I think the SEC just has the most predominant rivalries and really has some of the most competitive football games when it comes to college. Let's go front bumper here. Four hours, guys. Heck yeah. Roll Tide. Oh no. Oh no. I'm not an Alabama fan. Some more Strawberry Lord dropped. I live in NC for about a year. Okay. Yeah, I lived in NC for about 3.5, and I've been in SC for a lot longer. That turn is pretty forceful right there. Yeah, what a fun coaster. This has such a good layout. I really like this. It's double out and back, and the second portion is definitely a bit shorter. This is so fun. This is a rock solid coaster. This is definitely one of the best woodies I've looked at, especially for its scale. It's not massive, and Dale, really, come on now. Good lord. Try to keep it PG-13, man. I'm pulling that. Let's not go there. I know it's a saying, but the connotations with it, that's, yeah. This is definitely one of the best small to mid-scale woodies that I've seen, and it actually, I think this even rivals some of the massive woodies that we've looked at. 5 minutes and I gotta go. Alright, Geo, no worries. I really appreciate you being here. Hope you have a great time at the water park today. Dale out. Dale out. Why would you say that, for the love of God? Yeah, folks, I don't mind y'all, like... I don't know. I don't really swear on stream and stuff like that. I don't mind really if you all use some profanity. But let's not go into the realms of adult content. But no need to say more about that. Let's take a look at the stats. Oh boy. Yeah, look at that. So not super intense. The nausea is very low, but just that excitement is boosted. And this is one thing that I think the EFN scores actually do well with. The wooden coasters, the way that the scores are evaluated for them is fantastic. Yep, your lats are a little high, I did feel like, in a couple of the turns. I think it was this one right here in particular that did feel a little bit intense. Yeah, probably right there. I think if you banked that a little bit more, that would be a good change. guys didn't flinch yesterday when I said... Oh, I didn't even see that. I don't remember it. But I don't know if it was an obscure reference, then I don't know. Maybe the people just didn't catch it. But yeah, let's not do that stuff. But no further on it. Just excitement all over the place. It does taper down slightly there, but then it picks right back up. Some really good punches of airtime. So much green on this, it's really good. Yeah, these two are for adding into the park, possibly. I could definitely see this having a place. I'd have to figure out exactly where to put it. Cerberus being the three-headed dog in the underworld in Greek mythology. But I feel like, and I'm not going to get into it too much since we really have not covered it, but those of you that saw the late side of the stream last night when I was kind of messing around and exploring some ideas for the new park with the Greek-themed area, I'd have to say, if I've got the flying coaster and the Medusa Floorless and a Woody, that would probably be it for the Greek area. But I could see that working. I did want to do something Poseidon themed, but maybe that could be something, some type of a water ride or something like that. So I think there's options. The other thing that we could do is put this in a different area and retheme it a little bit. Can I steal this coaster for Granite Peaks? Give credit, but yeah, heck yeah, look at that. Wii U explodes. Yeah, what? Would love to ride this. Absolutely, I would have such a blast on. And I'm not a huge fan of wooden coasters, but I think I would have so much fun on this one. Verticals are actually relatively tame, which gives me a little bit of a surprise as to the excitement, but that's a good thing. Lots of airtime. 9 moments of airtime, 4 seconds in duration. This is hands down one of my favorite wooden coasters that I've looked at. This is A+ tier work. So, I guess you could say the way they do the tiers, I guess S, A, B, C, etc., stuff like that. I think that's just because of Hurler. Well, yeah, maybe a little bit because Hurler absolutely sucks. But I've been on other wooden coasters, and I don't know, they don't do a whole lot for me overall, even the decent ones that I've been on. Now, to be fair, I've not been on a lot of Woodies. But this just looks phenomenal. The ride experience is phenomenal. It's relatively compact, it does not take up a ton of space, which I like. I think there is a ton of fun to be had with this coaster. So I could definitely see this going into potentially the mythology or the new park that I want to do, but even if not in that, I would certainly incorporate this into I could see this really in any park that I try to build if we place it right and, you know, theme it with some scenery and stuff like that. You would not have a difficult time in making this work just about anywhere. Alright, Gio, have a great day. Thank you so much for hanging out. Have a great time at the water park. Hurler only sucks in seats after 7. 1 to 7, it's not that bad. I am not going to agree with you on that. I got a front row ride on Hurler and I did not care for it. From the front, it felt forceless. I will say the best ride I got on Hurler was kind of in the middle of the train, and even then it wasn't great. So, but that's my personal opinion. Of course, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. Just my experience. Alright, next up we're going to check out this GCI creation. Front bumper, and let's give it a roll. Start test. Yep. .5, the GCI. Nice double down right there. It's our hip radio station there. Oh, wow. I mean, I figured, based on the number, it was some sort of a radio station. Didn't know exactly what. Another really fun coaster. Really neat. Very different, of course, your typical, out and back versus your twister. A lot of fun stuff going on with this. Again, and I would say even more for the GCIs, I think you could use a little bit more banking in some of the turns. Like this one right back here in particular, caught my eye. Would bank that a little bit more. Certainly on a GCI. I can kind of understand shallower banking on these. Honestly, I don't like this one nearly as much. I would agree with you. I'm not going to say nearly as much, but I definitely am preferential to Cerberus. I think that was the better of the two. But this one is not bad at all. I think with a little bit of tweaking, that this one would be really awesome as well. You go take a look at the stats, a little bit more modest on the excitement, but those are also relatively comparable. So I think the result that you get is, when it comes to the EFN scores, definitely comparable between the two. Even though the ride experience is radically different. And again, your lats, yeah, you just need a little bit more banking on some of those turns. A little bit less airtime, but with the GCI twisters, I think that's kind of to be expected. After riding that one earlier, there's no winning. Yeah, definitely this is the better of the two, but this is still really solid. Give it a little bit of tweaking. This could be a standout Woody in a whole bunch of parks as well. So I actually really like the way this looks too. We don't really talk a lot about the way a coaster looks from different vantage points, but however you view this, it looks like a lot of fun. the layout is so pleasing. We didn't check your lats on your 19 coasters earlier. No, we didn't, because I said they were not very good. Those were all coasters that I made at various times that I didn't know a whole lot about building. So I'm like, hey, I gave that disclaimer early on. I'm like, all of these need major revamps, with a couple exceptions. I think the floorless based off of Kumbo was probably the closest to being like realistic and close to on target with how I wanted the forces to be and stuff like that, but that was probably the last coaster of all of those that I had built. I low-key have a lats problem. It's not terrible. I mean, 2.5. I would try to temper that down. This one, it was, I think, just a little over 2. 2.2. Okay, yeah. So, I want to say generally you want to try to keep those within like 1.5 to 1.8. If they go up to about 2, that's not horrible, but you'd feel it. But yeah, anything over that, I think you would need a little bit of an adjustment. Generally, banking would fix it. But if you do that and it pulls too high verticals, then you just need to broaden the turn a little bit, or put trims to slow the train down or something. But both of these are really good. This one is definitely the better of the two, in my opinion, and it sounds like in most people's opinion here. Alright, Tortigan Tails, have a great night. T3 sucks. Yes, sir, indeed. But this is not to be written off. I think you did something really good with this. It has a really cool layout. It looks amazing. And I think a little bit of tweaking would do this coaster well. This is not something that needs more than some minor adjustments. So definitely don't scrap this or write this off. This is really well done. Can you do Cerberus one more time? Yeah, you know what, we can. But I'm not gonna do the front. Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. Shut it down. Put it back in the station. I'm not gonna do the front bumper. We're actually gonna go... We're going back row. Every once in a while, I love doing a back row POV on these coasters. Yeah, super fun. Back row was just as great as the front. Didn't test. Yeah, so I mean, when you run a test and you get your scores and the forces and stuff like that, I don't know exactly where they calculate it from, if it's the front row, back row, mid experience. But changing your vantage point does not affect the tests, to my understanding. These are all, yeah, these are the same. Yeah, super fun. I also have to say, and I did not point this out the first time, this 0G roll, it actually It looks a little bit more like a heart line, but it's not really a heart line. There's definite elevation difference. So it's a relatively modestly profiled 0G roll, but that was so smooth. You did such a great job with that roll. It fits in seamlessly, which is awesome. So yeah, super great job. This is... I'll go and say this is showcase worthy on bigger channels than mine. So that is how much I like this. So you really have you've really set the bar high with this, I gotta say. Super fantastic. Alright, with that folks, we've been going for 3 hours and 47 minutes. It is 1:15 in the morning here, and I am done. Good night, my children of the corn. Love you all. Don't be lame. Be good, stay safe, and until next time. You are pretty close there. Hades 360 Island, but reversed. Yep. Man, as I've said, you all are fantastic. I really appreciate the great turnouts, the participation. This was so much fun, and I know we kind of got off to a slow start in game because I was so distracted by the chat, but that's a good thing. If I have something to be distracted of when I'm doing stuff in PC2, it's hanging out with you all. So absolutely fantastic. Everything that everybody has put up for Showcase tonight, I really enjoyed looking at. Okay, good night everyone. Had so much fun. I love you so much. Good night. Alright, King Dakar Fangirl, have a great night. Thank you so much for hanging out. And yeah, that's gonna do it for me as well, folks. This went a lot longer tonight than I was planning on, and I have a feeling tomorrow night I'll probably take a break, but it depends. It depends on what's going on here. I may have some stuff to do. I might actually be out. I'll try to go flying if the weather's okay. There is the potential I may do a shorter PC2 stream. Might actually, a couple people have asked for Open RCT2, so I might even give that a shot. But I'm not gonna guarantee anything. So, we'll play it by ear though. I really appreciate y'all. Stay tuned. Hope to catch you on the next one. And I hope you have enjoyed this stream tonight. As always, until next time, you all take care. Stay safe. We'll see ya.